The iron and steel industry in Luxembourg is the origin for the country's commercial success, being the building block upon which the economy would be able to thrive. But to better understand how all of it played out, we have to go back to the beginning, back 150 years. Our first leap into the past starts here, in the Musée des Mines. Arbeid, being the result of a huge merge of different steel production industries, was an enormous company encompassing 21 blast furnaces, 3 electric furnaces, 2 steel-making plants, and several rolling mills. Seen as the first caves opened up during the late 19th century where electricity was a scarcity, the workers inside the mines operated only by candlelight and hand tools. This proved to be quite challenging, and therefore is of no big surprise that the excavation process was a slow-paced one. This new enterprise called for a big workforce that the Luxembourgish people, by themselves, could not bring together. The steel industry relied heavily on immigration waves from across Europe, primarily from Italy and Portugal, the former having started in the first decade of the 20th century. The steelmaking industry accounted for more or less 60% of total industrial employment in Luxembourg. The mining workforce relied heavily on new technologies, purchasing and putting into action all of the newest machinery available to make the miners' labor more bearable. Starting off by utilizing horses to carry out the 2-ton weighing cars into the daylight, and transitioning to having multiple trucks capable of completing several tasks all at once, like drilling holes into the ceiling and placing support pillars into them to keep the cave from collapsing. Not only were these mines home to Luxembourg's hidden treasures, but also to rats and bats. However, mine workers and these animals spent their time in the mines at peace. While the mine workers were busy performing excavations in the mines, the rats kept themselves busy, eating all of the trash and rests left behind by the workers. Moreover, miners who harmed the animals would even be punished by having their salary cut by an entire day's worth of work. After being loaded, the full carts of iron ore collected in the mines are carried by train to a blast furnace, where they will be transported to the top of the facility by cables, ready to be converted to steel. Many of these furnaces could be found in the south of Luxembourg, primarily in Esch-sur-Alzette, Differdange and Dudelange. Belval, being a part of Esch-sur-Alzette, was home to 3 furnaces. The iron ore gets heated to up to 1650 degrees Celsius, and the remaining liquid is poured into a mold to help it cool down. The steel and iron industry is the reason for which Luxembourg has so many international cultures in its country, communities still strong to this day. Just like Luxembourg, the Ukraine was able to build a solid financial background by processing their steel. One difference between both countries is that the steel industry is still very much alive in Ukraine to this date. After being shaped into its desired look, the steel is now finally ready to be exported around the world. In 1993, the industry decided to transition to an electrical furnace and sold one of their blast furnaces to China, which took the Chinese 5 months to entirely dismantle. The district Belval was able to preserve 2 of their remaining blast furnaces and turned one of them into an open-air museum. The blast furnace is an important part of Belval and forms the center of it, around which you can find ministries, a university, restaurants, a library, residential quarters, and a lot more. As it once was a place of economical and industrial development, Belval today serves a similar purpose, inspired by its industrial past, to be a place where learning, research, and diversity is able to thrive. Nowadays, you can find Luxembourgish-produced steel in buildings all around the world, like the Burj Khalifa and the Freedom Tower.